So, yes, we want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is SKTV coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Sekou Kene. With me today is my colleague, Mr. Johnson Maybon Kula, making everything possible on Truth FM 96.1. Our sincere greetings goes to Maybon and the entire team right there on Truth FM. We want to say thank you, guys. Thank you to you guys for making this possible for SKTV. And we want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone following SKTV. If you are in Liberia listening to us on Truth FM, we want to say thank you. And we want to say good afternoon to you. And of course, if you are somewhere in Asia where it's in the morning, we want to say good morning. And of course, if you are right here in the United States, uh, in the East Coast, we want to say good afternoon. Midwest, good afternoon. In the West Coast, whether it's Southwest, Northwest, or Pacific West, we want to say good morning. Precisely is 11:29 a.m. and February 7, 2024. We want to say thank you to all of you for following SKTV again. We are here for another thought provocative and yet stimulating conversation. This time around, we are going to be discussing the war and economic crimes court in Liberia. We have some very, very, very important information to share with you, the Liberian people. It seems like the war and economic crimes court is imminent. I'm not sure whatever information you have, but it looks like all the jittering and then back and forth and confusion behind Prince Johnson's action, I think, is coming from that whole war and economic crimes court information. He probably has some information that you may not have, and SKTV is here to somehow unveil some of the information to the Liberian people as to whether or not the War and Economic Crimes Court is a must in the Republic of Liberia. We have some key information to share with the Liberian people today. We just want to encourage you to share the show. If you are watching us on YouTube, share the show with your friends. If you are watching on Instagram, whether you're watching on Twitter or you are watching on SKTV LRB, we want to say share the show. Share the show. And of course, if you are in your car, in your bus, whether you take care, wheresoever you find yourself, or you are home relaxing, we want to encourage you to tune to Truth FM 96.1. That is the best place to be every evening at 6 p.m. local time in the Republic of Liberia. We want to say thank you to you, Melbourne, and everybody else from our team for keeping SKTV alive and doing what you guys do best, making sure that we bring the information, the needed information to our people. So, Melbourne, before we, go for a musical break to start sharing the show, how are you doing and how is Liberia?
Thank you. Yes, we are into the social media, so it's not easy. But thank you. Seku, let me say a wonderful good evening to all of our dear travel listeners. Indeed, you people are so special to our heart, and especially for those of you that follow us both on the radio and that of the internet. Indeed, for always burning your batteries, all your data. In fact, let me say a wonderful, I don't know, a pleasant Wednesday evening to all of you. Thank you so much for a job well done. So indeed, yes, indeed, Seku, today is the 7th of February, the second month in the year 2024, and indeed, all is fine here in Liberia, apart from the confirmation hearing, the other news about drugs, text. In fact, our president lead by example on today, taking drug text. He and that of the the vice president also they take their drug test. So indeed, these are happening in Liberia. Apart from some of the news on yesterday, coming from the EPS about the former Lace boss, the Liberia Agency for Community Empowerment, PSYEKE, in possession of arm, according to what they said on yesterday. But according to the information that we are getting, I think Percy has finally turned over the arm to the EPS, according to what we are getting from the color, or in fact from the corridor there. So indeed, we are fine here. We are moving strong. We are all are good. With the work and code that we are about to discuss, I think that was also mentioned into our news on yesterday, coming from one of the strong law, in fact, lawyer from right here in Liberia, Councillor Arthur Johnson, also speaking about the World Crime Court, and other people giving their own views about it as to what's going to happen, whether it will happen or not. But how be it, we are good. Politics, yes, indeed, people are still waiting for nomination. We are still checking them on the executive mansion website to see as to who name going to come out. People haven't slept at night, fighting hard to see whether the name will come out or not. So indeed, we are good, apart from the nomination and that of appointments that all Liberians are waiting for.
Thank you, Melbourne. And let us take a few minutes, to listen to SKTV Son and
Yes,
we
yes. So,
take.
before we go for the meaning, let me just inform our people in sports. Nigeria is leading South Africa 1-0. I think the game gone almost 72 minutes. So, for those of you that are listening to us via the radio, I think that's an opportunity for you to also know as to what's happening in the African Cup of Nations.
Great, great. That is very good information. I actually watched the first half, but I didn't because of the show. You see, sometimes we depart ourselves from doing personal stuff just to come and do the show. Because I was watching the show, I mean the game actually, and I decided to let it go after the first half, and I left to go take a shower and get ready for the show. So yes, it's very very important that people take these things very seriously. But we want to encourage everybody to go ahead and share the show. Let's do that. And while we play SKTV's song for about a minute or so that we can get this thing going right away. It will amuse you to hear some of the information that we have acquired, to in regards to this whole war and economic crimes court. And Liberia is a very good country. It's like Liberia is just full of betrayal. People betray. People trust other people, and then while you trusting the other person, you're just there,
The other person I get.
yeah, the other person cutting, under you, to make sure you fall in the hole. But yes, indeed, it's important. Let's share the show so we can come here and discuss this whole war and economic crimes code. And by the way, we were diving into other issues like this whole Pepsi Yeke and EPS boss MG and
Same game.
the trail of words, word of words, and how and they will actually how they traded, allegation and counter allegations, and we will talk about them down the line. But it's important. I don't know. Before we go, I don't know if it's important that we actually recognize a few people here.
Yeah, indeed. In fact,
Important.
that was also on my mind.
Yeah. So, Ernest Bernal, welcome to SKTV Uver Sifa. Linda Nyapong, James Davy, Mavi Deshil from all the way Belgium. George Young, welcome to SKTV. Valentin Precious. Boston Gaylor, welcome to SKTV. McLean Renault, welcome to SKTV. And Mustafa Balo, welcome to SKTV. Tracy Vincent, Rocadia T. John, welcome to SKTV. And what is that? Stabutus M. Young Jr., welcome to SKTV. Fipi Fromo, welcome to SKTV. Sarah Slemane, that's our guy. Antoinette Gallo, welcome to SKTV. Ali Donzo. Esther Clark Fredericks, welcome to SKTV. Young Bobby Young, welcome to SKTV. Drika Gibson, welcome to SKTV. And we want to say thank you to all of you for following SKTV Live. Fofana Samuel Hollywood, welcome to SKTV. God Favor Nadia Roberts, welcome to SKTV. The guy who always carry our show all the way there in San Conte. Jeremiah Kulaya, welcome to SKTV. Musa Jabated. Naomi Mimi, welcome to SKTV. Sensi Beslow Perry Jr., welcome to SKTV. Lovely Pierre Perry, welcome to SKTV. Evelyn Collins, welcome to SKTV. We want to take this time to welcome all of you and to encourage you to share the show as we embark on this journey of unveiling information on War and Economic Crimes Code. Is the War and Economic Crimes Code imminent? Is it a must? Are we getting somewhere? Have we reached somewhere? What is going on? What is the United States saying? And what is going on with Joseph Nima Boakai and his decision when it comes to War and Economic Crimes Code? A lot to unveil. All we got to tell you right now, share the show. Share the show and share the show while we do this. Yes, Rose Russell, welcome to SKTV. Joy M. Cooper Burnett, welcome to SKTV. Paul, welcome to SKTV. Everybody. Wait a Okay, Paul Choroplay. Mama, I need I almost call you Chichipulo. I'm sorry. I just let to,
Yeah.
pick on people sometimes.
Yeah, Mary brother.
Yeah, Mary Price on Jefferson Weir is on. Mary Price on. Yumutru Kranga, one of the most
I know how come
one of the VIP of SKTV.
Yeah,
how many times did you call in that girl Oma?
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, Oma,
Yeah, now let me tell you,
I don't call Oma.
No, when you say Oma, that mean that when you come to the other side, but some side no. Now OPS Oma there.
Welcome to SKTV. Yeah, so I want to say thank you to everybody for following. But if you're not sharing the show, then of course we are not doing us justice, because we want to make sure everybody is part of this particular conversation so that we can't be going back to say, what did I miss? Well, I'm little. So share it with your friends so they too can be a part of this very important conversation. So let's play SKTV song while we all can help share the show.
There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. What is our people who willing to serve? The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving us the end of promise from them. So welcome and life without fear.
I live with my health. Master. Play Paris, who make you? I can't ask it if you bring you. Say my journey, Tina get I say my jamo. And yes, I know money, and more I know. And you love
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa. SKTV, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. STV. And I don't talk it now. Cause you work on my at the woman. Yeah. Oh, oh.
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa. SKTV, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the local and grandmaster.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from here and out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time, and the efforts are rare. The broadcast we giving a real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandpa's and Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Bacoloo, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from here and out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. Blessing the time and the efforts are rare. The brothers giving us here and the promise from there. To work with my life without fear.
A lyrical health.
Master.
Play Paris, who make on you. I can't ask it if you bring you. Say my chenny, Tina can I say my yamu. And yes, I know money. Emu aye yo. And you love me. Emu aye yo.
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa. SKTV, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the local and grandmaster.
And I didn't ya to money. And I said ya to money. And I couldn't clear ya to money. And I could do ya to money. And I didn't ya to money. And I said ya to money. And I couldn't clear ya to money. And I could do ya to money. And I don't get it now ya to money. STV. And I don't get it now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah. Oh, oh.
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa. SKTV, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the local and grandmaster.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from here and out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time, and the efforts are rare. The broadcast we giving a real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandpa's and Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Bacoloo, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
SKTV, the best in
We the
Liberia.
best in the land, yeah, LIB. I like that.
SKTV,
Yes.
the best in Africa. SKTV, the best in the world, in the whole wide world. SKTV, the best. That's what we believe. If you think otherwise, then that's on you. That one that you're communicating. That means that you're biscuit. You want to eat it. And not our biscuit. But yes, indeed, we want to say thank you to all of you for following SKTV. So, Mabel, there is something going on in our body politics. We have information that Liberian President Joseph Nima Boakai has been working since he was elected. He has been working with some international actors, some mover and shakers around the world on the ground to establish war and economic crimes court in Liberia. Because it's one of the conditions put forward by the United States and the international community to their support of Buckeyes government. So we were told that they have completed the background work. That the work to establish war and economic crimes court background work has been completed. That is the information we have. And on top of that,
so maybe in should we say flexibility, or maybe the way they can go do their study behind the same, so to our old folks,
feasibility study.
Because that makes it simple for our old folks out there so that they can know
feasibility study, whatever that need every mechanism that they need to put in place. I'll get to more detail. Relax.
Okay.
We were told that everything has been put in place to establish war and economic crimes court. You know, when Senator Prince Johnson complained about Joseph Nima Boakai, how he went slow, how he went, remember you were teasing him, he was kind of making fun of the president at the church. Okay, this guy, he got the information. There are people working with him, giving him some information about what is going on behind the scene. Also, him too, he had his plan. Should the whole war and economic crimes court issue become imminent, should it become like, a must, he was thinking what to do. Prince Johnson complained as to why Major General Prince Johnson was retired and appointed to be the Minister of Defense. That's not what he wanted. He wanted somebody else to be defense minister, and he wanted to use his connection with Prince Johnson, the then chief of staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia, to somehow cause some instability if the war and economic crimes court was going to come to fruition. So, the former Minister of Defense, Zanga was chief of staff under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And Zanga, according to the information, Zanga was very close to Councillor Charles Walker Pronsky. Prince Johnson, who told President Weah that you cannot trust Chief of Staff. A lot coming up, man. We got a lot of things to tell you right now today. A whole lot of information we have. So it was Prince Johnson who went to President Weah and said you cannot trust Zhanga. Because Zhanga was believed to be one of the most qualified, well-trained, the guy who is believed to have done every process that he underwent, every training. He was one of the best military officers in Liberia. Prince Johnson said to Joe, we don't trust him. Something is not right with him. He is with the Liberty Party. If you try him, if you try to keep him as a chief of staff, the armed forces of Liberia, you are doing it at your own risk. You are doing it at your own peril. So, George Weah now believed Prince Johnson went and retired Zhanga and make him chief of staff, make him the Minister of Defense.
Defense Minister, yes. The Defense
In the
Minister.
Republic of Liberia. So when Joseph Boakai took over, somebody who is aware of what Prince Johnson did with Zhanga and President Weah, somebody also went and told Joseph Boakai, this Prince Johnson guy who is the chief of staff, he's from Nimba. Prince Johnson is eyeing somebody else to be the Minister of Defense. But at the same time, leaving Prince Johnson as chief of staff, also from Nimba, is risky. So, St. Prince Johnson wants somebody to be defense minister from Nimba, retire Prince Johnson from the position of chief of staff and appoint somebody there that you trust. It's like, this is Steve from Steve May God laugh, right? Same thing Prince Johnson did to Zhanga. That's what somebody else's did to Prince Johnson this time around by going to Joseph Boakai and tell President Boakai, retire Prince Johnson and make him civilian so he can be a Minister of Defense. These things are very, very important. These are national security issues we are discussing here. It's not even a joking matter. It's very, very important. So, when Prince Johnson learned that President Boakai is about to retire Prince Johnson, he was not happy about that. He told him, don't do it. Little did he know that Joseph Boakai was informed that you have to do this for your own security and for the security of the nation. Especially if you're going to do this whole war and economic crime school thing, don't never trust anybody that is associated with Prince Johnson. In fact, we hear Prince Johnson saying that the vice president being isolated, being sidelined, and this and that, Joseph Boakai is afraid because of what he was told. That anybody that is associated with Prince Johnson, he should be very careful with it, because when it comes to the war and economic crimes code, Prince Johnson will stop at nothing to prevent it from happening. So at this time, today, when it was confirmed, you stop calling me in the middle of the show. When it was confirmed that Joseph Boakai and the people that he's working with, they are reaching to a point where the war and economic crimes code thing will be realized. That's why Prince Johnson wanted to have all his people in all different positions. And because of the same war and economic crimes code issue also is the one that be delaying the confirmation hearing of Councillor Kopo Krab. Because the Minister of Justice is going to have to sign off on that document. In fact, the other part of it, I think we will reserve some of it until you guys finish with it. Because
yes, until after the news
the other
bulletin.
part of it that got to do with the financing. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what the United States have pledged. We'll talk about how far this war and economic crimes code will go on the other side of the show after the news bulletin. However, Liberians should brace themselves. You should brace yourself. What is coming in Liberia, it's now a joking matter. It's now a joking matter. And people should be very careful, you know, when it comes to the whole political things. You know, sometimes you can be joking with anything, but it's way beyond that. You may not even know what you're playing with.
All right, so we will go for the news bulletin, but I think you can be talking maybe.
Yeah, we'll continue with the show, but we will.
Yes,
We
can be talking about maybe Percy again, the other team too.
Yeah. We'll talk about all of those things. But
all right, thank you so much. So far, we're going for our news bulletin. Trust me, we'll come back.
Yeah. So yes, you know, Prince Johnson is not jittering for nothing. He's not afraid just for nothing. He knows exactly what is going on, and he has been informed that the war and economic crimes code is the must that is going to happen, and Joseph Boakai is committed to it. In fact, one of the reasons why the war and economic crimes code is a must is because President Boakai government survival depends on his acceptance of establishing war and economic crimes code in Liberia. So as it stands right now, all the issue of appointments, positions, how Prince Johnson is talking about, you know, how Lofa people never deliver, how, you know, Boakai is discriminating, according to Prince Johnson, now Boakai is discriminating between people of Lofa County. Loma people have not done this, Loma people have not been, because Prince Johnson know the presence of the people from the Loma tribe in the armed forces of Liberia. He's trying to be on the right side of those people. Prince Johnson knows exactly what he's doing. He wants to do everything and anything he can to curtail the establishment of war and economic crimes code. And it is one of the pillars upon which Joseph Numa Boakai's government depends on to strengthen their ties with the international war, with the United States of America, and other powerful nations around the world. As a matter of fact, Prince Johnson is pretending to the public as if he doesn't know. But we are reliably informed that he has already started looking for a lawyer. A lawyer to defend him. He's pretending to the world as if to say he's not aware of anything. All the fight, all the thing he's doing right now is all about distraction. It's all about threat. It's all about telling Joseph Nima Boakai that I know exactly what you're trying to do. But if you play with me, I will play with you. All that thing Prince Johnson talking. He wants the people of Nima County to stand up for him, to stage a protest, to stage a riot. And he's also he's been talking to people in the military and other security apparatus. The reason why Prince Johnson is fighting to make sure that he got the Ministry of Justice. He knows exactly what's going on when it comes to the process of war and economic crimes court that is being discussed behind the scene, and that is reportedly finalized. That yes, indeed, it should happen, that it will happen. If Bogai's government wants to be taken seriously by the international community in the world at large. So don't be surprised when you see more threats, more attack from Prince Johnson towards President Joseph Boakai. Also, don't be surprised to see a lot more changes in the security apparatus, including the military. The man is afraid. He's fighting very hard, and he's trying to do everything to make sure that the war and economic crimes court do not happen. But unfortunately, Prince Johnson might not get his way the way he wanted. That may not be the case. The potential, the possibility of this war and economic crimes court happening is higher than ever before. And he knows it. You know, the man is telling the world that he doesn't care. When you look at me, they say, walk on cool, this and that. And I'm here. You know, he said the war crime court will not come to Liberia, giving different reasons. But anyway, we will go back to the whole idea of war crimes court later on, maybe in about 7 minutes. We'll get back on the radio so that everybody can actually get some understanding as to what we are talking about here. But with regards to other position to be filled by the president. We were also reliably informed today, actually yesterday, and it was confirmed today, that the president has a priority list. Priority list, and those who are making it on the list, first and foremost, are those people who actually contributed to Bwakai's campaign financially. Those who contributed financially to Joseph Bwakai's campaign. They are the ones that are getting the preference. They are the ones that have been appointed first by the government, because they may not have been publicly involved with Joseph Bwakai's campaign or the Unity Party campaign, but those were the people that spent their hard-earned money on Joseph Boakai, whether for his personal use, whether for the campaign purposes, and other reasons. Joseph Boakai is compensating those who financially, who gave him money for the past 6 years since he left the vice presidency. You know, the woman has been struggling like all of us. And those who took care of him financially, those who stand up with him when he needed them the most, are the people that he is compensating, with jobs. And somebody also informed us today that the job for Sekou Dukle, the managing director of the National Port Authority, that job was just a setup. That Joseph Boakai giving him the job to compensate what he did for Joseph Boakai, but knowing that he might not be able to deliver, given the enormity of the job, given the seriousness of that job, given the challenges that come with that job, we have been informed that it's a setup. That man will potentially be the very first person to be fired by Joseph Boakai government. Another form of betrayal. I'm just telling you what we were told. And this is very reliable information. Perhaps we talking about it now may change the dynamics of things. But we are told that Sekou and his principal deputy, we were told that the money they spent on Joseph Boakai and the Unity Party's campaign could amount to 800,000 United States dollars, 200,000 short of $1 million. Yeah. So there's no way Boakai could have given that man different position Hold on 1 second. It looks like, let me see. I'm gonna make sure I got here. Oh, Melbourne said they are back. Okay, that was quick. Let's get to Melbourne here. Melbourne, so that means you can carry us while we were talking?
Yeah, indeed. You know, we were, if I were a sudden listener now.
Okay.
Yeah. So quiet. If you know, we just bump into something where he said, I don't know, the first point will be fire. You know, that's what we just bump into. Anyway.
Okay. We're gonna go back there. We have been reliably informed that the man who was appointed as the managing director of the National Port Authority, Sekou Hussein Dukle.
I'm a Sidiki, yeah.
Sekou Hussein Dukle.
Yeah, Sekou.
We have been reliably informed that it's just a setup. Set him up. That he will potentially be the first person to be fired by the government, by the president, because they're telling people that this man and the guy who is his principal deputy, collectively, that they spend about 800,000 United States dollars.
Wow.
On the president, and that they were compensated with the position so that they'll be able to pay themselves back or get some of the money back, and eventually will be fired. But at that point, they already got the money they spend on the president.
Steve, that place when you're there almost per day, you make close to almost.
So Steve, welcome. We were discussing the War and Economic Crimes Court. SKTV is informed that Junior Bogai and some key players, movers and shakers, they have reached a conclusion. The establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court background work has been completed, and that Prince Johnson is jittering, is confused about it, and everything that he is doing, he was doing it to curtail the process, including some unusual action to undermine the process. So because of that, Joseph Boakai was also informed about some of the plan and stuff. So Joseph Boakai was told to go and remove Prince C. Johnson from being the chief of staff, to retire him so that he could not be used by PYJ to cause problem. Similar thing that PYJ did with Zianga. Ellen had appointed Zianga as chief of staff, and Prince Johnson told George Weah that Zianga is from the Liberty Party. Zianga is very close to Councillor Charles Bronskin, and he said, "You got to retire that man. Other than that, that man will undermine you." So Prince Johnson played the game with George Weah to remove Zianga from chief of staff, to retire him, make him Minister of Defense. Now, somebody close to Prince Johnson to also inform what Prince Johnson was planning, what the conversation they were having. That person also went to Joseph Boakai, you got to let Prince C. Johnson go. Same PYD wants somebody to be defend from Nimba, retire the man, make the man civilian, and let him be the Minister of Defense. So Joseph Boakai immediately adhered to that. So that is one of the reasons why Prince Johnson is so hurt. And before I let Steve to come in, somewhere I wanted to continue to talk about before we left the radio. You know, we have been informed reliably that under George Weah government, when Weah came to the United States, before Weah went to the United Nations General Assembly and talk about the War and Economic Crimes Code, Weah was talked to and he was guaranteed that the United States of America pledged $270 million. You're listening, you pay attention. $270 million. The United States of America pledged for the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Code. Because George Weah let them down, that also contributed to the destruction of George Weah. And Waka has been made aware to those information. In fact, this time around, they are saying it's Waka, President Waka, established War and Economic Crimes Code. The $270 million that is pledged initially, that is initial pledge. And if it goes beyond 3 years and more money is needed, they will revisit and add more money. But the War and Economic Crimes Code must happen. And as I speak to you, I don't know whether you pay attention to Senator Sir Joseph question to the foreign minister designate. When Senator Sir Joseph asks, the whole War and Economic Crimes Code is being discussed, and you are going to be a representative of the president to the outside world. Will you support it? Did you hear our response? She said, I will support the agenda of the president. Anything the president wants, that's exactly what we do. Steve just came in. Let's welcome Steve. I know Liberian people are at the edge of the chair right now, getting all this, information, but let's bring Steve in, then we'll continue with the conversation. Steve, welcome, and how are you doing, sir?
Well, thank you, Mr. Kane. Good afternoon, good evening, folks. Good morning to some of you who are in Mountain Standard Time, because it's still after 12 here. We can say good afternoon or good evening, we can say. As always, the Liberian people are the most important people on earth, but the Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. Mr. Kane, I agree with the president's agenda, as you already know. We're not making no fun, we're not joking. We call on the president not only to take his tests, whether that pound one test, whether that drinking test, whether that cigarette test, whether that drug test, but we also call on the president to please publish his assets. He and his vice president, they need to do that. These small things that will reassure people and will create credibility and some sense of seriousness. It was just a matter of time, like I wrote on FKTV, even though it might sound funny, but two old people decided to betray each other. I get nothing to say inside. Me, I for justice and accountability. So anything that has to do with justice and accountability, I for it. Tomorrow on the show, we'll play you briefly how some of the diplomatic things can work. Let me say this to Prince Johnson because he's following the show.
Yes.
You know, coincidentally, when we got the information about what's going on and the pressure that is mounted on President Joseph Boakar's administration, which Jeremiah Kuhn is aware of, when Yeke said on the show that both Jeremiah Kuhn and President Joseph Yuma Boakar will throw Prince Johnson on the bus, that was true. Coincidentally, last night, while I was waiting for your call, Mr. Kanen, I know you said you called me, but we're talking on something different. I stumbled on Facebook on one of Charles Taylor's interview, and I got an interview. It's 20 minutes long. We'll try to play it another day. I want for us to play it for the Liberian people so they can listen because people can forget. But the Charles Taylor go into the Hague situation. Charles Taylor insisted in that particular recording that the Nigerian president lied. Remember how Charles Taylor was arrested to the border?
The Nigerian president fooled him.
The Nigerian president fooled him.
Yeah.
Y'all listen to this though. When Prince Johnson wanted to get rid of Do, what did he tell Do? And he said, I fool you.
Before him.
Joseph Boakar fooled Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson wanted to fool Joseph Boakar. But what Prince Johnson forgot about is Joseph Boakar was in government before the war. Prince Johnson that began to Joseph Boakar. Let me tell you something. Prince Johnson that began to fooling people. The whole fooling business. That Boakar didn't know where it comes from. See that thing. That thing when I saw Costa and was bouncing around, I told Costa before I said that thing when you do with Boakar will be on the sideway. Joseph Boakar, that big ball when it comes to fooling people. Prince Johnson, let me tell Prince Johnson, you just got play. You can't do nothing right now. So that big ball when it comes to fooling people. And the man who can fool you in there. Our ball. So our ball right now is president. Prince Johnson, you own your own papa. My only concern for Prince Johnson is he needs to be carefully watched in his past in the next few times or next few months or weeks. Prince Johnson is an arrogant, defiant, disrespectful man who will not want to go to World Economic Crime Court. He would rather take his own life. You're here today. Joseph Boakar, I say he might not be fooling Prince Johnson, but make sure that I own Prince Johnson. He might not do anything to himself. Because what I will carry into World Economic Crime Court in body bell, what I will carry in wheelchair, on hospital bell, he will go. Going over, he will go there. That's why, but I want. All the Nima people we were defending, he will go make a case there. We don't have power on that one. And I support that initiative 110, no, not 110, 150%. I'm with Joseph Boakar only one. Joseph Boakar and Jeremiah Kuhn are behind your only one. Jeremiah Kuhn, you agree to take Prince Johnson over, are behind you only. It's a good thing. Prince Johnson finally will
and part of the process. You remember when you can talk about how the now Deputy Speaker, Thomas Fala, and Jeremiah Kuhn signed up to turn Prince Johnson over in order for them not to be sanctioned.
Yep.
Thomas Fala election to be Deputy Speaker was not a coincidence.
No.
It was well calculated. It was well thought out, calculated, and delivered. You know, the legislature, the House of Representatives, they will vote and approve the War and Economic Crimes Court establishment in Liberia. They
Yep.
will vote.
And the Senate will approve it too.
And the Senate will also approve it.
Yep.
So, also there's something behind the whole drug tax.
I think you don't go that time. We don't want.
I want to say, there's
This
something behind
drug- No, spit it
the
off. Because
drug
it's
testing the president is doing. They are targeting some people,
Yep.
and you will get them.
They will.
You're trying to get rid of 10 people.
Okay.
The drug test is not just for nothing. There is something behind it.
Yeah.
And people that are targeted, they know. You know, all the drugs that come in a country, that the people when they can be taking the drugs. And some of these drugs, they can stay in their system for a while. So even if you start taking it, it cannot just get out of your system right away. And the tests they are doing, they know exactly what kind of tests they are doing. They know exactly who is doing the test. They know how the result is going to look like. You listen to Yaka Kolwa say something the other day on SKTV here. He said, when I go to do my drug test, I will stay there. I got my result because I don't want to leave from there. Somebody give my result later. A lot going on, man. The politics is going to be nasty.
So Mr. Kane,
Yeah.
in as much as we're talking about the World Economic
But
Crimes
we
Court,
want to go back to the real issue, the World Economic Crimes Code. But I just
Yes.
try to bring this thing in to people to know that to the black guy using the whole drug test thing, they are targeting certain people. They say, okay, you the president, you just take the lead and do it, so everybody will be compelled to do it. And then they will catch certain people that they want to catch, and they want to get rid of certain people. Some people deny the result. Some people
So-
say the result, their result is not the result.
So then, Steve and Segu, I want to ask the two of you one question quickly to that. So, like for example, you take interest, right? And maybe you hear about test or something. How long somebody can take for drugs to leave in the system?
I have no idea. I don't want to talk
So-
about that. Maybe Steve knows. But I don't like to talk about stuff that I have no idea of. I don't know how long it takes for the drug to get out of certain people's system. Some people have different stamina. Some people have different, people are different. But I don't know. I don't want to lie.
Well, if you know what I'm asking, yes.
no ball.
Mm.
So what people don't understand is when people take drugs, it can act on you sometimes for a short amount of time, such as maybe a couple of days. But for it to be in your actual system,
Mhm.
sometimes it takes weeks, it takes days to be cleared out of your actual system.
Somebody
So
says
it's a
3
lot.
months.
I'm not talking about the acting part. The acting part could be a few days. So when you see somebody acting high and it's doing it, that one a couple of days, but the effect or the impact. But for the drug itself to wear off your system, it really takes days. It also depends on the person, the hydration, different things, the fluid intake and so forth. So some of those men who you see going to the Capitol Hill or something like that, they get drug in the system. They need to just refill it, maybe go and take more again, then a boot or
That's the question, because sometimes they come to accept that the whole thing will be honey, and you just go to a test, they tell you say you are negative. After some time, you can go to your B.
I won't use the word hiding because if it is there, it's there. Now, here's the thing. One of the things that they can do also too is, and I hope wherever they're doing it, they're watching them provide their own. Most of the time, they can do urine, pee, for both the PP, and the PP they can use to test, to run the test, right? So I hope they're watching them go PP and test the PP right there, because it's possible that you, Melbourne, could have drug in your system, but because you don't want me to know when you can't do the test, you bring somebody on the PP, then it will show negative.
That's why when you go to do a drug test, you can have you empty your pocket.
You got to empty.
Even your key, nothing can remain with you. Nothing.
Yeah,
and then where you're going to take the sample, there's nothing in there. In fact, most of the hospital or clinic, they will tell you, say, don't flush the toilet.
Yeah. So
you're bringing it like that.
So the follow-up question, I come in quickly, follow-up question. So is it a force? Like, for example, maybe I don't want to do tests. Am I forced to do tests?
So Melbourne, I think here's where the problem will be. President Joseph Human Baka needs to issue a decree or need to make sure that this is done with some frame. When you leave it open, that people can drag it and treat themselves and do other things to go there so that the urine can be cleared. So if there is a time frame attributed to this, then it will help, because then whoever you attack, and President Baka watching the show, he know I picking it and I support him, so he definitely know that they will take recommendation, even though they will not give credit. But the president and his team are watching the show. So president, when you're doing these kind of things, send some of us that some of the things that what area they here, that some of the things we can do, because even to conduct some of these psychological evaluation, we got to make sure we do, we make sure they're not under the influence, to make sure that you are alert and oriented. So, President Baka, I think you need to attach a time frame to it. That would be my recommendation. And wherever they are doing the drug test, need to be highly guided and supervised so that people are not influenced to influence the results. Because it will be people who can be influenced to influence results. These results are authentic. If they say you get drugs, you get drugs. You won't go. You will go to tire. You will go ugly tire. So, you can have tire. But something else I wanted to talk about. No, I beg you.
Yes.
I know you want to drug.
Because we can drink a tire. Because we can drink a tire, we can suffer.
I tell you, not drug, man.
No, someone when you go for test, what people can say.
I tell you, no matter how much I tell you drink, it will never show as drugs.
Maybe you got this. You wanted the bad before you take it out.
Unless you put something else in a hatai.
Don't do that. Maybe you get bare able to, because your birthday, man, you get take small thing. Just say to the church will forgive you. Don't got bring a tie. Mean we are sorry. Don't sorry, man. What about you? What about the ball? You not you, eh? We can take a tie every day. One day we not all sorry. When you go, you sorry, eh? If I want to see you get a balance tie and knocking right now, wait. Let me know that I sorry. Oh, man.
Because I'm afraid, I can remember once upon a time, some of all, where you do drink a tire, when one for someone and tell someone, the people know when you drink a tire, the people say, in fact, you'll be positive.
Lead that conversation. Maybe you will ask something to that tire, lead that thing.
So do your test.
What wrong you? You follow different thing you do, eh? What you related to the Baga?
I think maybe want to just stick to how we test.
But anyway, Mr. Kana, I want to say something that's very important, because in the next few days, SKTV is working on something that, you see, because we won't help the president and because we won't help the government. Sometimes we'll say some of these things, I think we're joking. We'll hold Joseph Human Baga accountable. We'll commend them the place where they need to be praised or commended. We are following deep stories about who all are allegedly involved with the sabotaging of Sarah Eslo Yankee. Whether confirmed or not, we'll tell you exactly who are they involved in that. We'll tell you who all did what, and who are in the government trying to do what to honor my other people. Let me tell you something. Sometimes people can just vex with us. But if you really listen to FATV for true, we have been neutral and we want the right thing to be done in that country. I listened to Sekou this morning briefly while I was driving, and Sekou was saying why FKTV will not be used as a political tool for any political party. SKTV, apart from the contributions that some of our viewers and our supporters can make, SKTV is self-sponsored. I'll tell you today. Sometimes maybe I will find time to explain to you some of the sacrifices Sekou made to have SKTV to where it is today. And other things that we have done behind closed doors that some of you are not even aware of. When you come here, some of you uselessly insult us. You don't even know what we do. They're not criminal money based SKTV. They're not criminal money. They're not phone talk. They're not like phone talk other places. I'm saying this because we want the right thing for Liberia. We really, really want the right thing for Liberia. And that will include holding Joseph Yuma Bagafi to the fire where it needs to be held to the fire. That will include that. It will also include the fact that even CDC, we got friends, relatives, and other people in CDC, but many of you are here, we criticize the government. We did. We did. I did not even know, until lately, I did not even know my connection with Sekou Kalasko. I didn't even know. From Kakata, from Agili, I had no clue. They just got to explain it to me. The reason I'm saying these things is because for the next few days, the next few weeks, and the next few months, and the 6 years, we will not only be exposing people that are doing things, funny things in the government. When any plan, any plot that has to make sure it brings problem for the Liberian people, we discuss it. So that includes, as we speak, the allegation seeming to be mounting that the chairman of the United Party has absconded. He ran away. That allegation, Mr. Kane, is getting strong every day. And I'm saying this to the United Party. I want to say this to you, to Joseph Boakai. This is a wrong sign signal. Yeah. Look, in 2-3 weeks of your taking the presidency, the party chairman running away, but we'll be telling you who all behind the Sarah Bezlo issue, what they did, and what went on. And all your people that want to be writing plenty, want to be talking plenty on Facebook. We will bring that story then also. The other government, because we support the party. The noise that will be inside. I told you on my Facebook page, don't get ready for the noise and the you. We're talking. And I think what they're talking about, Sekou to the point. Let me tell you about that. If I were you guys, I would have bought that plane.
Yeah.
I would have bought that plane. Because down to the dollar and the cent, we tell who all get it, who all to the money. You know, FKTU will tell us here, and ask a question, we get the answer for that question. So you'll be watching over the next few days. Once the ego land, we tell exactly who they were. Our own ego and our money, that information. Because on FKTV, we don't do this say as it. We'll make sure we get you the information. If that paper trail, you send it. That recording, you will send it. Look, we are very serious. We don't, so that when somebody will go one day and say, what do they want to you? Then we'll provide the evidences to them. So, you know, Mr. Kane, the Liberian people are in for a long show, and we thought we support the government. I support the party. I'm from Lofa. That water, that baga we want. Yeah. We support baga we want.
So, Steve, before you go, this whole idea of war and economic crimes could be somehow finalized, and Wakai is ready to have war and economic crimes court in Liberia. How is it going to go down politically in the next few months?
Well, Mr. Kane, let me first of all give credit to, because these reportings are authentic. They're not joking. I read it in a piece today. I didn't send it to you. I will send it to you to confirm and authenticate this, that the setup, everything for the World Economic Crime Code has already been established behind closed doors. Prince Joseph is aware of it. As evidenced by that, that's why he was jittering on Sunday and acting out. Basically, he was crying out. But I want to give credit to the Unity Party and the Joseph Yuma Boakai led administration, especially President Joseph Yuma Boakai. for taking this step and taking this initiative. It is important. For too long, our people have cried for justice, peace, and sadly, the most recent president, after President Chastity went into exile, he came back and then he was arrested and taken to the Hague. All of them keep the can down the road. The fact that Joseph Yuma Bwaga is mustering the courage to even take this step forward, I will give him credit for that. And I want to say thanks to him. There's so many of our mothers, our fathers, our brothers, our sisters who are still hurt today. They've had no justice. Some of them complain. Some of them, the only reason why they switched from Bwaga to Wia, from Ellie to Joia, is because they wanted the issue of justice and accountability. I believe in my heart that Liberian people want justice and accountability, but the leaders have not been able to muster the courage to do that. So I want to give Joseph Yuma Bwaga the credit for just taking that step and initiating and making it a priority, even though he's not speaking about it in public that much. But here's the issue. With Prince Johnson and the rest of the people, they can rest assured that they can do anything. And the reason I'm saying this is because they don't know that there are eyes on them. Every move that they make, every meeting that they have, this is the disadvantage that they're in. So it's not like Joseph Bwaga is working by himself, or these guys are working, exclusively. They're not just the Liberian government to say, oh, you tackle the Liberian government. There are other serious international partners and serious people who are there to ensure that the key players, those who want to make this happen, are not touched, they are not hurt. They were told, and Yaka made allusion to that. Yaka said something about that. That these guys, Jeremiah Kung, part of the meetings he had in Ghana, was to assure him about his safety, was to assure him that nothing will happen to him. And he, Jeremiah Kung, will not also be punished or indicted. Even Thomas Fala. So, Mr. Kane, when is the Prince Johnson can go and shout all in the chest or whatever it is, no Holy Ghost coming to save him. This is not a Jesus affair. There's a moment, born again can pass around, open all the windows.
But what Prince Johnson beginning to look like as if to say he's the only person the war crime is targeting? Why? Because he's talking too much or what?
Well, because he feels that he doesn't need to account to anybody. He feels that he thinks he's above the law, and he thinks he can play people and set up funny things. He thinks he can sweep up and fool them. So that's why he's passing around making it no personal. So saying he wants to own the World Economic Crime Code title, we give it to him. It's a World Economic Crime Code. Finally, World Economic Crime Code can yet. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't do Prince Johnson, you can do nothing. Nobody might be afraid of you. You can't do nothing. Nobody might be afraid of you. You can't do nothing. Even if you go to the biggest zoo, he will still be prosecuted. What kind of medicine they make? And other people been making medicine thinking that they will not hold him accountable. That thing don't work with Uncle Sam, my brother. Let's do that thing. Do that thing. We're talking serious thing, you're talking medicine. Forget that thing. You go to zoo, you go to prayer model, you go to pastor, you go to whoever it is, it will not work. So tell me about you. What kind of medicine you make? What thing happened? They will still be held accountable.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much. And before we go to Melbourne to take a few calls in Liberia, Saros, how are you? And what's going on? I know you've been following. What do you have to say about the whole war and economic crime school thing? I mean, just do like 1 or 2 minutes so we can go to Melbourne. Then you and myself, we're going to still be here to talk about these things.
Yeah, so let me.
Saros internet saying no.
Yeah,
I can see love in your face.
Maybe someone not move from Miami now, because when you move from Miami now, it can be
in
easy.
the face, but you just not make it.
Yeah,
maybe we'll go to you, man.
Thank you.
Our SCP fam.
Yeah, so thank you. Oh, that Sarah is on. Sarah on. Is that Water Ninja? What kind of ninja are you?
Yeah, Melbourne, go ahead.
Sarah is Water Ninja. Yeah, so as you go to the line, or you want me to give, maybe
go to the line.
All right, yeah. So let me go to the line.
Hey, what do you think about the whole war economic crime code coming business?
Okay, and please let my Unity Party partisan know that I'm working with them.
There you go. You just work against it.
So
the number to call is 0778 3396 2 against 0778 33968. My man, I hear some news. They say your government coming order. I don't know about 3. I don't know government agency, including the
Yes,
Central Bank of Liberia. That's the latest news coming in. 0778 33968. That's the number to call. What you make of the war crime code and all the war and economic crimes code that are in the making. Go ahead, brother.
Speaking on your platform tonight, people, all my brother Johnson, whosoever listening to me on this platform, I truly support and I'm supporting because I'm all over. Look, if to say I had an opportunity to vote upon it in the war, tonight I could have sent in my signature for the war and economic transport to be established tomorrow morning so that we can start on that and be keeping the work to move forward. So I support it 100 or 100,000%. Thank you.
I support it 100%. That's the only way the dark cloud will move from over Liberia. So this caller, good evening.
Yeah, this is Eddie P from
Mm-hmm.
Well, for me, I support the worker code. But the first thing, any supporter was serious to support the worker code. Why he couldn't mention it in the current speech? But the time he goes to the legislature.
No, man, it doesn't matter.
All right. Thank you. So the question. All right, no problem. Why you didn't talk about it when you were maybe standing before the world leaders, according to him? Yeah, go ahead. Hello, Chief. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually supporting the worker code because actually the people are up there, they are seeing that the party, they can work to other people, they will not bring in work.
Okay. I think we lost that person, or maybe
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to this caller. Good evening. Yeah, brother, we're great. Thank you. Go ahead.
I'm very happy for Joseph Parker to talk about the worker code and he's too serious about it. You know, it's a good thing for our great people that been hurt to the war. Again, another thing I really want to do, who retire or Rosianka, they want to job here or that Joseph Parker.
George, we are. Ziangan work in Ziangan was chief of staff during the former president Serif time. Hello, go ahead.
But Joe, we are retiring.
0778339682 to this caller. Good evening. Yeah, Chief, go ahead.
Thank you. This is about the William Garvey, and I joined this conversation for this history. The issue about the war code, I believe that the Liberian people do not want anything for war code. The evidence is that they have a thing, actually, is louder than words. For the fact that the Liberian people keep overwhelming voting these war laws before, and they are telling you that we do not want war code. If you go to Nima, Great Justice is giant. The man was overwhelming voter. You go to this question, you got overwhelming voter. You go to Benchila, someone you have Nima was overwhelming voter. So the Liberian people tell you that they do not want war code. And let their children are saying, and I think it is good for everybody to live in peace and harmony to see our country development moving forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you also for being part of the show. It's not easy. Sekou, are you listening? To this caller, good evening.
I'm listening and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, go ahead, boss.
This is Morris coming from Canwell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the issue of war and economic votes, for me, in my own mind, they would never be established in the country. Yeah, what is the fact that those who are supposed to run the welcome or let's say to improve the establishment of war and economic growth are the same people that we are elected in the house. I will blame those guys who committed crime. I blame the elected. I blame the citizens of the republic. Because people committed crime and come back to all say, okay, all the job, okay, all government job, okay, all senatorial job, presidential job, we give it to them. Let's take for example, Prince Johnson.
This is almost on the 7-year prejudice now.
Yes, indeed.
After 9 years, the prejudice will come back and we'll see full prejudice to go back in the house.
All right. Thank you so much. We got to give other people the opportunity too. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah. How you sir?
Yeah, my make a pull let's string your voice. We're talking about.
I'm saying, how are you, sir?
Okay, good. We are fine. Thank God. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Johnson and I'm calling from County, Grand Bassa County.
Okay, good. Johnny up from Grand Bassa County.
Yeah, so what they do there, if they want to bring their worker, that worker, they call the board and pick your thing.
Oh, my boy, my son. Lord, they can do interesting. My people, yeah, today's caller, go ahead.
How you doing, man?
What do you, Mama, go ahead, bro. The minute talking, oh. Okay, go ahead, brother.
We need our phone that are born into the subject to get them to get some development around what the work is going on. Get the food out. Who feel great at it, get it back from the years.
But until the war code, until the war, and economic code going to stop development, or maybe even the work activity that is ongoing. Thank you anyway. I think this quarter, okay, we still have time. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, my brother, go ahead.
Thank you so kindly.
Pascal.
Yeah, Pascal Davis, 166. Thank you so kindly. Well, you know, look, Gabon, Liberian are not serious. We're not ready. And let me tell you, the thing about work and code and all kind of stuff, there's no sincerity there. You were here with President Weah said, our president said, the decision to bring work and code last with the legislature. And that was true. The president could not establish the code. That was left with the law paper. They should have voted upon it. It should have been a bill at the legislature. It should have been passed. It didn't happen. But tell me what Liberians are doing. You just saw the election. They elected warlords. Some of them have won upon the 7 years. Imagine they brought in this October year for you to make a senator to go upon the 7th year. Imagine a maple. And somebody telling me, I stood for you, I was fighting for you, I killed a for you, I was defending you from my neighbor. You killing me? And you the only one for the 7th year, and you want those kind of people to bring work people. We're not serious here. And that's why, when I listen to people and all of God and all people, I mean, they're always saying the truth. We're not ready. The left of job for it, the left of Yankee, all of people, you think that people want to make law against themselves? We got to be serious.
All right, thank you so much, bro. We got to be serious. They call, then we cross over. Maybe Segu. Yeah, go ahead. Maybe Segu want to respond to some of you. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, that's what I call. We got pretty boy and give us the
All right.
Yeah. We'll get it.
All right, thank you. So you will get the profile. After you finish enjoying the profile, then you will give it back. You will give it $7 and then you will get it for the full back.
Hello?
Go ahead, Chief. Your last caller.
Hello,
yeah.
Yeah, this is Chiku. We were calling from Boystown.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, and issue of worker code is highly supported as an individual. But there's this thing that we want to make clear. Is it that this worker code thing is still for Senator Johnson? There are other people.
They say war and economic code. So even people that even hold gun, but other people that even steal from you.
Yeah, but the thing there is, it's supported, but when people keep saying worker code and then keep relating it to Senator Johnson, like talking about worker code and then keep talking about Senator Johnson.
So what that was, they're not talking about Senator Johnson now. First, before that, he'll be calling a man too. So everybody fucking and I'm fucking. Segu.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much. So, sorry, before we leave the line, what is your take on this whole war and economic crimes court issue? I know you were trying to speak earlier, but your line was, acting
Yeah.
up. So go ahead.
Yes. So Mr. Kane, this is welcoming. If this news is authentic and is valid, then that means let's give it out to President Boyka and all of his, executives, his, his co-workers, the people who are working with him, his government. Let's give it out to his government. Let's give that. And it's very essential for our country because Liberia, we live in a society where people have not been able to, come together because other people feel that, people who have killed their family member, people who did bad, continue to work with impunity. And this whole war economic crime code is not restricted to Prince George who have the lack of Joshua Blai. We have a whole lot of them have fought this war, and they are still around, so everybody can go and clear their stuff. The only reason you see is oftentimes Prince George because he's the one who always responding. The moment he hears what economic crime code, he comes out to respond to people. So it's welcoming, Mr. Kane. And people should not forget about the economic aspect. The economic aspect is the one that continue to make Liberians to language in poverty. Because once we continue to elect the leaders, and when they steal from government, then the people work with impunity, nobody to prosecute them. There is nothing that is being served as a deterrent to other leaders. That is the reason you see everybody running into politics to come and steal because they believe anybody can come and steal from the country and work with impunity. So it's welcoming. I support it 100%. And let's say kudos to Baka government. If this is authenticated, if this comes, let them bring it and let everybody account that Liberia can be a straightforward country. So that's my take.
Thank you so much. Melbourne, do you have anything to add before we leave the radio?
I feel we gotta go because of time, but howbeit, all I can say is the best thing to do because for some of us, this is what we've been fighting for. If you say you want investors will not come here where you have your justice system is very poor. You don't easily persecute people when they do wrong thing. But anyway, howbeit, on tomorrow, maybe yes, indeed.
Melbourne,
Yeah.
Melbourne, before you go, let me just get one short breaking news. The president ordered the GSC to audit EPS, the TVL and NSC.
All right, thank you.
So
Thank
that
you so much.
presidential order came today.
Yeah, but before we issue the order, what about he giving different information about the figure that Jowia, gave? I think he should.
That one, I think yesterday the Senate also, the committee in the House of the Senate are responsible for that yesterday asked also the GSC to audit that, to look into that. So I think all of that we just commemorate.
All right, that's good. So, folks, if you just joining us, we want to encourage you to call in and give your own opinion on the information provided. If not, then definitely we will, call it a day. But yet, so, Saros, I know you just came not too long ago, but we've been discussing a lot of things here. Once again, we are encouraging people to support SKTV. Somebody just sent off $15. They don't want me to call their name, and somebody sent us $10 to let's see, Sekou Dukle from Arizona. Hello, Sekou Dukle.
Yeah, Mr. Kane, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You're alive.
Okay, I'm very happy. This is very good news for Mama Liberia. The war crime and economic crime court for our nation. It has been in the pipeline for so long. And I hear people say the lawmaker they will approve it, this, that. Let me tell you, majority of the Liberian, a majority of Liberians supporting the war and economic crime court. Let me tell you the truth. People say that example right in our neighboring country, Sierra Leone, right after the war. And you see why Ellie Johnson turned over Charles Taylor. Ellie Johnson had a lot of support coming from the international community. You know, people will not go to your country when you see senator them that killed ex-president and they're posting away in the street, Prince Johnson. You think a good country can do that kind of thing. A civilized country can do that kind of thing. But because like grown people, when something is not hurting them and hurting other people, they will not support it. But I can tell you for a fact, 95% of the Liberians will support the war and economic crime court in our country. And I'm happy about it. And we talk about we're advocating for it. More than 20 years, we're advocating for war crime court to go to our country. If Joseph Parker taking our lead, said I made noise. Because he support me to be president, so I can do the right thing for my country. That's what he's saying. Because he warlord and he support me to become president, so I cannot do the proper job. I can't make safety for my country. I can't make the right decision for my country because of one person business. Don't be serious around here. Like, bro, we're too old to be behaving like a small child around here. How will y'all have war and other people kill people? They're walking around and y'all go vote them in. When somebody won't make the decisions and then say, oh, they go for warlord and the minister. So why you go for warlord? You think everybody going to be the same? Somebody will vote for me, I will still change my decision. If why you vote for me, not voting for me because you want me to voting for me for like to be better. That's why you voted for me. You not vote for me so when I see the wrong thing, I should support it. No, that's not called leadership. Things that would make the country better. Investor will come and invest money into your country. You have to take that bold step for your country. So I thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much for that your input. So Cyrus, the way the whole thing looking, Cooper crowd, confirmation is on hold, and all these things has to do with what is going on, and with everything going on right now. What do you think about the relationship between President Boakai and Prince Johnson will end? The relationship, how is it going? How is it going to be? Okay, let's see. We have another caller here. Sorry. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you for taking the call, Sego. This is Terry Lion. You're calling from Fargo, North Dakota.
Go ahead, Terry.
Well, you know, the war and economic crimes court situation kind of being related, but we cannot say it's related because of the long gap in between. You know, politicians try to play all other games to make this to not happen. The reason why it have to happen, we have to take the bold step to make this to happen. A man who ran it amongst his friends, warlord, he himself by himself took his hands on people, killed people, bust their brains. But then he using this politics with his people to influence his self-interest. I'm not trying to be against him personally, but these are the reason why this war economic crimes code needs to be into place. Because Prince Johnson continued to parade himself in such a manner. But on the other hand, if I want to think politically to make things, to adjust things, the TRC needs to go back and put people who supposed to be on the list.
But the TRC report is in the TRC final report and recommendations are there. So there's nothing they can do more than what is there. The document is there. Even SKTV has that document. Everybody got that document everywhere.
Yeah, but there are some people who said that they should burn the mansion, the football field, and they will bury it so time. Sponsor war with the cash and made of that, former President Elliott. So, and the remark that Bernard Ure made that Joseph Parker, chairman of local defense force, we know the mayhem local defense force Carol. So all these things need to be redressed to have a fair judgment.
Oh, Prince Johnson said Joseph Parker was chairman of the local defense force?
Oh yeah, Bernard Ure. It's not just Bernard Ure. There's some that been in the Puebla for long. And Bernard Ure confirmed that.
Okay.
On air. That Joseph Boakai was the chairman for Lofa Defense Force.
Yeah, so that's why economic crime code is coming. So everybody, but TRC
go back and get Joseph Boakai, all the people names back on that list. Because you cannot just focus on the World Economic Crime Code, only on Prince Johnson. Just for things that we saw him doing, that it will not be politically, adjust. It will not be adjust politically. It will not serve real judgment. To just take it so personal on him. You know he does the worst thing in our country. Like the killing of President Doe and that videotape leaked in the American embassy. All these things should be redressed to be added to the World Crimes investigation.
So you want TRC to go back and start all over. So name can be added to it.
Yeah, all these things to be added to it.
But why don't we deal with the one we already have, and then if they call other names, then there can be some adjustment.
So adjustment, but that very glaring of Prince Johnson calling on the embassy in the time of capturing Samuel Doe, that needs to be taken into consideration, my brother. Like real people, we shouldn't just be a booker. We shouldn't just be a kind of fun people. Look, people can use international propaganda and keep our country into some kind of destabilize our country. We look at the sub-region, Sierra Leone, Guinea. When people want to take water to Liberia, they try to pass through Guinea, but Guinea too for our true brother and sister to Liberia. You feel that? But Sierra Leone open up borderline. And we should be mindful. It's Sierra Leone's too. We want to the Joseph Boakai into administration as he set himself to be an autocratic leader, appointing all this appointment. He's going to get some kind of backing from Sierra Leone. We don't want our country to be plunged into civil unrest, and our people, our brothers around all sister states, they are developing advancing, but Liberia begin to fall, go backward. We don't want any regional joint politics against Liberia and its people. We don't want our United States, entities in the United States or individuals in the United States to use the country to plunge our country into any form of civil unrest.
Thank you.
But I'm not supporting the idea of Prince Johnson like a classical behavior going around using his people in that form of manner. The Liberia people need to think and rethink how to handle Prince Johnson business.
I mean, Liberia people just elected Prince Johnson, man. Liberia people can do nothing to Prince Johnson. They're a hero. But thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Cyrus, what do you have to say before we go?
Mr. Kane, let me start with the quarter. You see, this whole World Economic Crime Code, when we say it's very essential for our country. And like I said previously, this World Economic Crime Code is not tied to only Prince Johnson. This World Economic Crime Code, there'll be a lot more of them. The TRC report, there are documents that are still in storage. These documents will come out. People who are implicated in a TRC report will have to clear their name. Just as when the TRC was established and they call people to go and give themselves the story, it will be likewise the same with the World Economic Crime Code. For example, if the World Economic Crime Code, if the investigation starts and it linked me to, or I work at one of the entity, maybe finance ministry or something, and when that entity or that agency is being audited and I'm linked, I will have to go, my name is mentioned, I have to go and clear my name. And I think it's very important. I don't know why a lot of Liberians, we were the same people who cried for this for several years, and we're hearing a good news in the Puebla of this thing coming, and people are now coming to oppose it, doing this on a tribal basis. I don't think this is what we mean for our country. I don't think Liberian we really mean well if we be going this route. The World Economic Crime Code is not surrounded with it's not tied to only Prince Johnson. There are a lot more of these people who will go and answer questions. The like of Joshua Bly. Those were people we saw. The like
But
this
the
man, Chancellor Kraft.
TRC let go Joshua Bly. TRC let him go. TRC say they
But
let him go because they say he confessed his crime and
the TRC might let him go, but the World Economic Crime Court might call him. So I
yeah.
mean, everybody else can come and give their side once the World Economic Crime Court is around. So I don't know why Liberians are opposing it. So all the people
I don't know what's some
were
Liberians. Those Liberians, those are what
yeah,
Liberians. Some Liberians.
yeah, I don't. A lot of them, they come in as well. Some yes, a lot of them. I don't know why they're opposing it. Mr. Kanye, Liberia is really giving God hard time on the planet. Liberia giving God. We cry for the thing they think can. People now opposing it that why only Prince Johnson? The reason you see a lot of people you see when World Economic Crime is mentioned and you hear Prince Johnson, it's because Prince Johnson take the whole World Economic Crime thing and put it on his head. The moment you hear World Economic Crime he becomes to jitter. You see, he starts to jitter. I have to say the World Economic Crime is coming for here alone, and it's not coming for here alone because he's not the only Liberian who fought war. There are a lot more of them. Honorable Yeke, he also agreed, and he said he will go and explain his side because he was a child soldier. So I mean, the World Economic Crime is coming for people who partake in the war. So I think, and it's not just World Economic Crime, it's not just war crime code. Economic crime code. No, kind of see Liberians. I don't know why they do not see the essentiality of the economic crime code. The economic crime code is very important as well because there are a lot more people who loot this country. And when the economic crime code comes, and the people are being, they being guilty, and obviously the money they were used, the money they stole and they used to pay property, state resources, these things will be confiscated and it will be beneficiary to the state. So I don't know why people are omitting the economic crime code aspect of it and they just attaching the war crime code. It's not just war crime code, it's war and economic crime code. For example, Nathaniel McGill, a man who is seen in a video footage saying that it's okay to steal, but when you still using it in the country, it's not a bad thing. These kind of people have to go and explain. I think that's why it's essential. That's why it's very essential to Liberia. And we will not have a lot of Liberians putting into politics because they see government as a form of enriching themselves. Because when they steal, nobody to audit them, nobody to bring them to book. So we should all embrace this thing and we should stop opposing it. So yes, Mr. Kennedy, I do support it 100%. It was all of us who advocated for this thing for several years, and I think it's essential to our country. I think it will bring a lot of healing when other people see that perpetrators are being brought to book and they are prosecuted for the crimes that were committed against humanity and for stealing and depriving the Liberian people, imposing it into hardship, impoverished poverty. So I think it's very essential, and I do support it 100%. And I'm urging all Liberians as well to also support it because, I mean, it's in the interest of our country. And let's say kudos to the Baga government until we see it being established. But for the good news in the Puebla, I mean, it's welcoming and we always support it.
Thank you so much, and thank you everybody for following. Don't forget to support SKTV. We have our Cash App and Zelle out there. For those of you who call, we appreciate it. Those of you who share the show, we appreciate it. We'll be here tomorrow again for another edition of SKTV. Today is Wednesday, so tomorrow is Thursday. And we've been on almost every day now, so we'll do our best. I want to say thank you to all of you for following SKTV. God bless you, and you have yourself a wonderful day. We love you all, everybody. You enjoy